I've got something to show you. So let's just do a quick shout out for Big Issue. If you walk past a Big Issue salesperson, then just buy one. £2.50 is all they're asking for. And these are people who are on the way up. They're putting effort into changing their lives. They're getting into commerce, they're trading, they're buying these and they're selling them. And it's such a commendable thing. So advert over, but don't walk past them, buy one. So there's this article called How to Create Some Headspace. It got me thinking because it suggests that on average we look at our emails every 20 minutes in the workplace. And then if you put on top of that the amount of times we look at our phones and we are interrupted by social media streams or whatever it might be, this article is suggesting that we have become the interrupted generation. You know, we can't focus on anything, we can't stay true to something, we're constantly flitting backwards and forwards, and the interruptions are every few minutes. So that got me thinking, how interrupted am I? How many times a day do I look at my phone? How many times am I distracted from what I'm trying to do? How much time am I wasting? So immediately, having read this article on the train, I downloaded this app, Realised. This app tells me how many times I pick up my phone, it tells me how much time I spend on my phone, and the first 2 days using this, I've been really a bit shocked. So the first day I used this, I've picked up my phone 46 times. The first day I used it, I interrupted my day on average every 16 minutes by looking at my phone. On the first day I used this app, which was only from 8 o'clock when I downloaded it that morning, I spent 1 hour, 34 minutes on my phone. So that's like 1 hour 45 minutes. Did I say that? 1 hour 34 minutes of my life where I could have been doing something more productive. It wasn't a complete waste of time for sure, because I was absolutely using email on my phone and doing some work on my phone while on the train, etc. But it was still a much bigger number than I expected. Perhaps the next day would be better. But you know what? It wasn't. The second day I used this app, I was spending 1 hour 37 minutes on my phone. I'd been interrupted every 27 minutes. I'd picked it up 30 times during the course of the day. So I mentioned this to somebody and they recommended a book that I should read. A book called The 4-Hour Working Week. So the basic premise of this book is that you can cut your working week down to 4 hours. That's a crazy suggestion, that you could actually reduce everything that you do and everything that you need to achieve into 4 hours of the week. So an intriguing book title, but I have to say, not a great book. Now, to be fair, I bought the summary version of the book. So it felt to me like that was a good idea. If this book was about reducing your amount of time doing something, rather than buy the whole book and spend hours reading it, this book claimed that you could read it in 20 minutes. So I have to say, maybe the full book is better than this book, the short 20-minute version. But the truth is, there was nothing in this book that would lead you to reducing your working hours to 4 in the course of the week. Not unless you didn't achieve much in the week, not unless you weren't very busy. There were some good ideas, there were some good thoughts, and a few tips that would help you to be more efficient and cut down your working week. But 4 hours? Really? So here's the link. It was all about focus. If you're going to cut down your working week, you've got to remove the interruptions. The Big Issue article was suggesting that interruptions are really hindering us and causing us to really have a lack of focus. So what we need to do is really think through how we focus on our work, how we stop ourselves being triggered by all these bells and whistles and flashes and lights and interruptions into our day, and get down to it and concentrate for a decent amount of time. So the big question is, what do you really want? Working on stuff that delivers your goal is being effective. Anything else is really just an excuse. A great question to ask ourselves every morning is whether there's something I could do today that would make me feel like I haven't wasted my effort. But potentially there's another whole school of thought here. That is that interruptions aren't bad for us. They can actually be really helpful. Two academics, Seo and Ormerod, talk about the theory of incubation and the fact that an interruption in our logic flow actually massively increases what's gone before. They would say that if you interrupt somebody while they're in mid-thought, they will remember what's gone before 90% more than the person who isn't interrupted. Now that's a phenomenal figure. Even if it was half that, if it was 45%, that would still be an astonishing increase in retention. So the science is telling us that all this interruption isn't necessarily so bad. And maybe the best way of remembering something is to be diverted. Another academic, Zeigarnik, she found that actually interrupting people at the point they were most thoroughly engaged in something was the way to maximize their memory and their retention of what's gone before. So some of this thinking is contradicting itself. Are interruptions a problem to us or are they not? For quite a long time, I've been a real fan of the app Pomodoro. So Pomodoro makes you work for 25 minutes and then gives you a 5-minute interruption, a 5-minute break. And the whole logic of it is that it helps you to be more alert and keeps you sort of mentally engaged right the way through the working day. So Pomodoro just puts a little clock up and counts down 25 minutes and then gives you a 5-minute break. And I find when I use that, those 5-minute interruptions every 25 minutes really keep me sharp. I love it. It's a tool I always use when I'm working in the office for the day. So it's pretty well impossible to know who's right. Should I avoid interruptions and really be totally focused and on it the whole time and then reduce my working hours because I kind of work absolutely focused for a shorter period of time and then take a longer break? Or do I not worry about that and just accept interruptions as a normal part of my day? So the long and short of this is that I think we need to stop worrying about it. If we get interrupted, we get interrupted. If I'm working, then let's try and be focused on what I'm doing. Otherwise, I'm not going to lose any sleep.
Subscribe, I love you, subscribe, it's only